why is there not any push educationally whatsoever for firearms and firearms safety, firearms knowledge, firearms education within our school systems? It's crazy that they would push marijuana, which has always been an illegal drug until current, but not push something that has been legal, such as firearms, but we have the same curiosity about it. As most people may know or may not know, I am definitely an advocate and a proponent of medical marijuana. Medical marijuana. I haven't smoked. I'm not a smoker. I'm not a toker. I haven't smoked a blunt or hit a bowl since about age 19, a long time ago. But as a mature grown adult, my looks at the medical marijuana thing is completely different than what it used to be as a child. And when you look at the science and the research behind it, you find out that it is extremely useful and extremely healthier than a lot of the alternatives, such as the overgrowing pill market that is saturating and oversaturating the children in school all the way up to the largest adult. It's crazy how that is. And when you look at drugs, I'm not a proponent of drugs, but I am a proponent of medicine. Medicine. All drugs that we say are hardcore today started off as medicine first. Everything in moderation is useful or has a purpose. When you look at heroin, in moderation, it has a purpose. Codeine, promethazine, in moderation has a purpose. Xanax, in moderation, has a purpose. Methamphetamines, the whole nine. All these things have a purpose and have a place. What am I talking about? What am I getting at? What does weed have to do with guns? I want to show you something. This here is a book that I picked up from your local elementary school, right? And this book was written in 1994. This is called The Focus on Marijuana. Where did I find this? Of all places, in an elementary school. Let's go through it and see what it says. I want to show you a couple things. It starts by introducing a chapter called The Marijuana Problem. It identifies what socially are the problems that the current media was looking at in regards to marijuana. This book also talked about using marijuana and why. What are the purposes or the reasons one would use marijuana, or tetrahydrocannabinol, they called it. They went and further discussed the drugs and the many names that the drug marijuana has. Over 200 names for marijuana. They had quizzes in the book about different things they wanted you to know and have knowledge on in regards to the drug marijuana. They talked about the history of marijuana, dating back from 3000 BC up to the 1900s and current times. You know, they talked about the social outlets and the propaganda behind it, such as the movie Reefer Madness, what's in the paper, the legal side behind medical marijuana and the drug marijuana itself, the misdemeanor or the felony. They also talked about the different groups that use marijuanas. They're talking about the 60s and 70s with the hippie movement, what that was, all the way to a scientific use. They talked about what marijuana does to the body, to the brain, to the chemicals, and how these chemicals actually come together and work. This book discussed the brain and all the effects that marijuana has on the brain and all the sensors that's on the brain. Smell, taste, remembering, listening, feelings, motion, moving, thinking, learning. This book also went in regards to talking about socially what it could do to a youth that smokes way too much marijuana when his brain isn't fully developed yet, you know? They talked about the marijuana usage and how, you know, as you continue to use something over and over, you build up a tolerance, therefore you need more to give you the same stimulus. The thing that it also covered was how the illegal drug market works. They talked about all the entry ports into the United States in which it comes, you know, mainly South America down here. You have Mexico right here. They're showing Hawaii. They're showing the boats that bring it in, or by land transport or air. Why? Why am I talking about a book like this? I'm talking about a book like this because when we deal with something that has a high level of importance in this country that is blasted all across the media, such as firearms and the Second Amendment, and dealing with those issues, why is it possible that a drug back in '94 that was never legal has books and an education effort pushed and made even through a school system for something like this there was some propaganda in there, but not much. It was highly balanced and unbiased. How would something like this find itself in your elementary school? And when you look at something of the issue of firearms that's supposed to be at the top of the food chain, the most dangerous thing that we're dealing with in this country, the biggest fight that our politicians are taking on, the killer of children and black men and black kids and the killer of all these different things, why is there not any push educationally whatsoever for firearms and firearms safety, firearms knowledge, firearms education within our school systems? It's crazy that they would push marijuana, which has always been an illegal drug until current, but not push something that has been legal such as firearms, but we have the same curiosity about it.